Over the past few days, we have celebrated and been informed about our Orthodox faith and Hellenic heritage through the Bible study of His Eminence Metropolitan Savas, lectures by Father John Chrysavis and Father Chris Metropoulos, the magnificent symphony at sunset, the Benaki exhibits, and we have heard outstanding speakers, namely Jim Morfinidis on business and Ambassador Eleni Kounalakis on diplomacy. Each year we endeavor to prevent fields in which Orthodoxy and Hellenism have fundamentally formed or continue to inspire, and that means every field of human endeavor. Tonight, we rejoice in the achievements of excellence of outstanding institutions and members of our community, and we are truly blessed to have them amongst us. I will now ask His Eminence Metropolitan Gerasimos to join me as we bestow the Archbishop IAKOVOS Award for Excellence to our worthy honorees. Your Eminence, I would ask Pavlos to please come forward to accept his worthy award. Your Eminence.
Your Eminencies, Mr. Chairman, dearest Paulette, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you all on behalf of the people of the Benaki Museum, whether here among you tonight or back at home. This is not just an honor and a source of pride. It is a commitment to a bond between two organizations that are very close to my heart. A Greek by origin, an optimist, an avid admirer of my country, Benakis would feel right at home here in Arizona on this beautiful night, among Greek optimists. Pride for one's country can have many different forms and many different sources. A glorious past, for example. But to be an optimist comes from a deep belief in potential. Greece has always been loved by patriots and Philhellenes, but it needs optimists today. People who believe in what it can be. At the Benaki, ladies and gentlemen, we deeply believe in Greece and what it is capable for. If for no other reason, our halls are full of stories where Greece beat expectations, extreme odds, to meet its potentials and surpass it again and again. From prehistoric times until today, the Persian Wars, the glory of Athens, Byzantium to the Greek Revolution, the rise and survival of the modern Greek state, but also the art and culture of Greeks during the darkest of times. Its halls are overflowing with stories and treasures of the times where Greece and Greeks rose to the challenge and gave the world something to be proud of, something to look up to. Also, overflowing with young Greeks who believe in their patrida and are committed to learning and creating their way into a better future. Our land is full of treasure. Let's not forget this. Each and every Greek clings to something different. Leonidas and Pericles, Aristotle and Alexander, Constantinos and Justinian, Παλαιόν Πατρών Γερμανός and Odysseus Androutsos, the list goes on and on. The heroic Ochidae, the glorious tradition of the diaspora, the people who are shaping a new future as we speak. But the Benaki Museum brings everything together under one roof. It builds the links that explain why we rise to the challenge, why we beat the odds and surpass expectations, why we have every right to be and remain optimists. The Benaki is about Greek values, the values that shape the people who craft the artifacts, the values we share as Greeks, our extreme love for freedom and debate, our fascination with measure, authenticity, and being real, our commitment to family, community, and tradition, philotimo, and philanthropy, our deep belief in hard work and creativity, our obsession with education and leaving to the next generation of Greeks more than our parents left us. Values shared among, I believe, everybody in this room. My museum, our museum, Andogis Benakis believed in Greece and made a commitment to serve his country. His family and the Benaki Museum, the people of the Benaki Museum, continue this tradition today. Among us tonight are member of our board, Konstanza Konstantakopoulos, Peter Poulos, also both of them members of Leadership 100, members of the Benaki team, Haris Chiambanis, Nikos Trivoulidis, and Isabella Kovas. Thank you guys for the exhibit that you put up here. My sisters Despina and Irini, and my wife Lara. Their commitment to the mission of the Benaki Museum has inspired me to help as well. We all thank you for your hospitality. But this is not all. In the past few years, in the United States, the Benaki family has grown. The Manatos, the Berhakis, the Kounalakis, the Kalamos, the Mitropoulos, the Petas brothers and their families, each member of the board, each employee, every volunteer, every benefactor of the Benaki belong to a family committed to serve the country we love, committed to service inspired by optimism. We ask you all to join us and become members. We all love our country, ladies and gentlemen. Today we must believe in it again. The goal of the Benaki Museum is to inspire optimism, to keep hope alive, and to turn this hope into something we can all be proud of. And this is why, here tonight, and why we have made the commitment to be wherever you want us to be. This is what this award symbolizes for us, and this is why we want you to join us in our quest for immortality. Thank you for this wonderful award.
Thank you, Pavlo. And now I ask our beloved member, Madam Ambassador, Eleni TSAKOPOULOS-KOUNALAKI, to please come forward for her well-deserved award. The ambassador gave us an incredible presentation this morning with our own Mike Manitos, and anyone that missed it, I wish it were taped, but speak about pride and Hellenism and pride as a human being. She has certainly done that for all of us.
Thank you so much. Why don't I hold on to something? Marcos, can you come in? Thank you. Thank you. Oh, my goodness. Thank you. It is a skiing accident, which has led me to climb up those stairs on crutches. So it is, if you're going to ask me afterward, getting better, and I'll be walking soon. But I did want to come up here and with enormous gratitude in my heart for this award here tonight. Gratitude toward His Eminence, toward all of the members of the clergies who are here tonight, to so many friends, and to this extraordinary organization that is Leadership 100. I joined Leadership when I was still in my 20s, and I was one of the kids who came with her parents, like so many of you who have brought your children here. We were a great gang of young adults. I can tell you we are all still friends. Pappases, Regises, Athens, Callenses, the list goes on. And these were very formative years for me to be a member of Leadership at that age. It taught me in a very profound way what it meant to be Greek American, what it meant to be a Philhellene, and most importantly, what it meant to be an Orthodox Christian. And so I thank you all very, very much for this great honor. And again, it is just so humbling and so wonderful to be here with you tonight and to accept this honor. Thank you.
Congratulations. Thank you so much. I'll present you with the award. I can take that. Leave it, just mail it. Thank you, Madam Ambassador. I wish you a wonderful evening. I thank you for your participation in this, our 25th annual conference. I look forward to seeing you in church tomorrow. I wish you a safe return home. God be with you all. We'll see you in Palm Beach. I am now honored to present His Eminence, Metropolitan Gerasimos, for his concluding remarks before dinner. Thank you.
We have a saying in Greek, νηστικό αρκούδι δεν χορεύει. George, if you know what that means, you should feed the people first before you let them hear anything. Nevertheless, I'm really honored to be here. Your program has His Eminence Archbishop Dimitrios, and I'm sure you know by now that I'm not his stead. I'm not his double. I don't stand here because of his absence. He is sending, however, to all of you his paternal blessings. I spoke with him earlier, and after he had concluded the burial rites for our brother Michael Jaharis of blessed memory, and he told me to let you know how much he misses you, especially tonight, and that the blessings of God to be upon you and all your loved ones. This is the fourth day that I'm with you, along with many of you who came in the beginning. And these past 4 days were celebrated and celebrating 25 years of this Conference of Leadership 100. But before I go on to the maybe 75 pages, I don't know if it was Seferis or Kavathis. Maybe my brother fellow Hellenes, who are a little bit more educated and they have not lost their mind yet, can correct me. But one of those two beautiful writers and poets wrote one very important note in one of their poems or writings. Those people who forget their past, they do not have a future. And this is what we're doing here tonight. We are renewing our dedication, our commitment that the past will not be forgotten. The Geroulanos exhibit from the BENAKI Museum and Paul's presence here along with the rest of the team, it is a clarion call for all of you and me to make sure that our heritage, including our language and our religion, does not get forgotten, because there will not be a future for us. You're here, and I'm very glad that many of you brought your young ones, children and grandchildren. This is the way we, the Greeks, the Greek Orthodox, we do business in the right way, by incalculating our young ones, the DNA threads that makes us unique individuals. And I cannot but refer back to that wonderful short video from the BENAKI's museum and the sacred duty that you have to continue what you have been given by your predecessors, by your parents. I was talking to someone from the Long Island area this afternoon. And he said, I do this because that's what my father did for me. He said, back in the 1970s, take this $100 and go and give it for that particular ministry of the church. He taught me how to give. It's not the money that you give. It is the gesture. It is something that is more sacred than any money that you can give. Our fellow Americans of Jewish descent has given us a great deal to think about it, because that is exactly how they grow and they not only survive but develop, because they give not counting the $1,000, the $100,000, the $1 million. It is not the money. It is your intent, why that money is given and for what reason. I am sure that I'm not here to teach you a lesson, because all of you probably, not probably, for sure, every one of you in this room can teach me one thing or two about philanthropy and about giving. And I profusely thank you for doing so. But above all, I thank you for bringing these young ones along with you. Michael J. Harris, George Kokales, Archbishop IAKOVOS, these visionaries of the early Leadership 100, they did not get together to create an organization for no reason. There was a vision, there's still a vision, and I hope that it will continue to be, and shaped by all of you and those who are going to come after you. The metropolis of San Francisco is honored to be your hosts this weekend. And please know, our metropolis is always open to you. I look forward to having you back with us in the future years, participating in your programs and continuing to be uplifted by your visionary work. Because it is a vision that ELENI Kounalaki TSAKOPOULOS talked to us about yesterday morning. Even in the politics, someone has to have a vision. Another proverb from the good book, where there is no vision, people perish. You have a vision, and that vision is the stewardship that you have maintained so many years now, 25 and counting, to make sure that this organization, it becomes and has become the base where a great deal of our young generation can be nurtured. This is something that you cannot put a price on it. There were many outstanding speakers besides ELENI and Paul. We had the pleasure hearing Father Christopher Mitropoulos, the new president of our institution in Brookline, Massachusetts, a place where the heart of the Archdiocese beats. If that place is not supported, the lifeline, the bloodline of the Archdiocese stops. And that is not an exaggeration coming from a bishop. James Orphanidis, a very challenging and a very daring presentation, both in the morning and then later on when I went to the young leaders gathering with him. And I wish to thank him for bringing these kinds of challenges to us so that we can may be able to come and understand our work. We heard a great deal about the upcoming Great Council by a very eloquent man, Father John Chrysavies, a person who gave us with so many different colors, a stroke of what is the danger for our ecumenical patriarchate. This Leadership 100 has become, through your own generosity and your own attention, it has become much safer. And I hope and pray that you will never abdicate that responsibility. Briefly, during my opening remarks on Thursday morning, if anyone remembers them, about the legacy of His Eminence Archbishop IAKOVOS, of blessed memory, after whom the Leadership 100 is named. I had the privilege and, yes, sometimes the challenge of serving as his deacon for almost 17 years. This was an education for me beyond what could be contained in textbooks or taught in classrooms. The same thing with you, with your children, with your brothers and sisters, when you invite them in, when you take them under your own wings. You teach them very valuable lessons. I saw him not just leading the archdiocese, but elevating it to the level of national visibility in many different levels: political, religious. Then there is the Leadership 100. Archbishop IAKOVOS knew that the church will be more and do more. He had that vision for you. Surrounded by his closest friends and stewards, the seed was planted for this esteemed organization in 1984. Of those men, just a few are still alive and able to serve the church, namely Arthur Anton and Peter Dion, while the others have gone to the Lord. There are many departed founders, and those of you who are going to serve, who are going to attend tomorrow the services at our cathedral here, we will pray for them. But it is worth mentioning their names from now: Andrew Athens, Thomas Athens, George Chimples, and of course George Kokalis. In 1984, $10,000 a year for 10 years was a significant investment. And you know what? Still is. But they knew that people will respond, and they did. You are a part of their dream, which has become a shining reality, with now over 42 million distributed in support of our archdiocese, Hellenic College and Holy Cross, our metropolis, and many other important ministries. You are those who are watering the vineyard of Christ. I know firsthand, as the Metropolitan of San Francisco, that your generosity has provided scholarships for our seminarians. You have provided thousands of dollars in support of our summer camp programs, enabling us to offer scholarships to children to experience the transformative power of this very vibrant ministry. You know what takes place in the summer programs? The bonding of children, that they have the same DNA. And you become the cement that makes that bonding possible. You helped our metropolis to launch a family wellness ministry, which is providing resources for our clergy couples, strengthening them in their ministries and marriages, as well as offering programs for parenting, marriage preparation and enrichment, divorce support, and more, as the Lord provides for us. Please accept my gratitude for all this, but especially for your presence. I don't have the chance to be with you every year. So this is my chance for the next perhaps 3 years, if God wills it, that I see your beloved faces. So I wanted to tell you how much honored I am to have you down here in Phoenix and to host you. You are the true laborers in the Lord's vineyard with your generosity, and you have demonstrated that by digging deep into your hearts to respond as faithful members of the Leadership 100, you are part of the vision that cannot be faded. If it is forgotten, we will perish. You are ensuring the future of our church and our culture. I hope that many of you will be able to join us tomorrow in the cathedral for the Divine Liturgy. You can see I keep reminding you about that. But before I stop and finish, I'd like to very much thank some people who have made this conference possible. First of all, the entire staff of the Leadership 100 office. Can they please stand up for a moment? They are really troopers, and I thank them so much for that. Your Leadership 100 Chairman, Mr. George Santikos. And the whole Executive Committee, along with Paulette Poulos, the Executive Director of Leadership 100. My beloved brothers and sisters in the Lord, especially young people in this room, tomorrow is a new day. They are new dreams. You are not just a part of yesterday and today. You are tomorrow, along with your children and grandchildren. Keep responding with love in your hearts. Spread the message of Leadership 100 so that tomorrow can be even brighter than today. Thank you very much. God bless you and wonderful time.